Just going live. Just one moment. Hare Krishna, my screen is visible, voice audible.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we don't have to, mute everyone. So we have. I think we can consciously mute ourselves and then unmute whenever there is a question or we want to say something. We can raise our hands and okay. So once again, welcome to Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. We have finished chapter 1 and now we'll have chapter 2. So let's start. उमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा। So let's start with chapter 2. So humble obeisance to Radha Govinda. So this is the chapter 1 sections that we have covered. So there are two sections where about 27 verses, which was about the introduction, preparation for the war, counsels from all the sides. Duryodhana went to his guru, then explained about both the armies, strength of the armies, all that has happened, and then from 28 onwards, all the doubts started from Arjuna. So from up to 46. So there are some four reasons that he has given, five reasons he has given not to fight. Right. So, what are those five reasons? Anyone, quickly, if we can, recap. Hare Krishna. So, what are the five reasons? He has given five reasons, right? Not to fight. He has seen his kith and kin, and then he said that how can I? So, there will be so many reasons that he has given. So, anyone, please, just there are five reasons. So, just give just anything that you remember. Hare Krishna. I think everybody is unmuted.
Five region.
Yes. Yes, Jai Sri Mataji, tell me. One reason, tell me. What is the reasons? What are the reasons he has given not to fight? Okay, I'll give a hint. So, number one, he said that. Oh, yeah, sorry, you were saying something?
Sorry, because nobody is answering. Family traditions was one.
Yes.
Indecisiveness, because he wasn't able to make a decision. He was unsure.
Yes,
And then
absolutely. Sinful
sinful actions,
reactions.
because he was worried of for sins, and then there will be no enjoyment if he was like if there was no kith and kin, there'll be no enjoyment.
Absolutely.
And then compassion. I think he was
Yes.
compassionate, so that was one of the reasons as well.
So we touched upon four, right?
Yeah.
So
Family
what is
tradition, simple.
Family tradition will be destroyed.
Yeah, family tradition will be tested. So if you look at from 28 to 46 in a sequential way, then first starts he's talking about his compassion because he saw everyone. So the compassion came upon him, and so that is the first. Next, he was talking about all his sinful reaction. If he kills everyone, then there will be sin, and after sinful reaction, then he was talking about he will not be able to enjoy. That's the third one. And the fourth one is that the family tradition will be lost or destroyed. However, indecision had not come yet. That has not come in first chapter, so to say. Although he has said to certain extent, but indecision will come in this chapter now, in chapter 2, before he actually surrenders in 2.7. Just before that, the indecision will come in terms of yadva jayama, yadva jayayuhu, which is better, to be conquered or to conquer. That was his doubt, and that was his indecision.
Yes.
So last chapter, Krishna said just one sentence or one word, so to say, but now he will speak. So what was that sentence? Anyone? It's not a quiz, okay? It's not a quiz, Hare Krishna. We are just in a spiritual platform, so anything and everything is okay. Uh, and before that, just a request to everyone that we all have committed that in the level 2 we'll chant one round. Hope everyone is doing that. That was the, I think, point one commitment, and point two commitment was that we should also read the purports of Prabhupada, beautiful purports. So hope this is all going on well. Yeah, so I think one sentence what Krishna said in the last chapter was Pashya. I mean, he Senayor Uvayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya up in the when he said Senayor Uvayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Mechuda, after he said that, then he actually placed, and then he said that now look, now behold. So he said Pashya Etan Kuruniti was just one sentence. And now in this chapter, he is going to say. And then Arjuna will also come out with more doubts. So let's look at those doubts. So, yes, what has happened is this. So, Arjuna has given four reasons. One more thing also, comes to our mind many times. In fact, many, devotees also many time ask that, okay, Gita is of 700 verses. It has got 18 chapters. So, first chapter is just the observing of the armies. So if you're talking about, karma yoga, then bhakti yoga, then jnana yoga, if you're talking about these three, then in the first chapter, what is there? It is just the observing of the armies. So I think it's not so important. Whereas it is the most important. All the questions are there in first chapter, and the answers are coming in the subsequent chapter. So therefore, it is important. And another thing is, as our Acharya says, that Nirvandhe Krishna Sambandhe. So anything which is related to Krishna, first chapter is also related to Krishna because he has blown the conch shell and he was there as a Parthasarathi. So anything related to Krishna is transcendental. So even first chapter is as equal as any chapter. So any chapter is as equal to any other chapter. So we should remember this, that Nirvandhe Krishna Sambandhe. So interesting is that. These are the five reasons we just talked about. That yes, there was a compassion, there was no enjoyment, there was destruction of family. Then, of course, because of his saintly and soft-heartedness and saintly behavior, he was also thinking about the sinful reaction. And after that, he surrenders with his indecision, which comes in 2.6, where he's going to say Yadva Jayama, Yadva Jayayuhu. And after then, Arjuna surrenders. So this is how the flow is. So let's now start with the first verse. And this is a section. The sections are five sections primarily. There are five doubts. There are five sections. However, all the five sections are not towards the five doubts. In the four sections itself, from A to D, all the five doubts are covered. So 1 to 10, Arjuna's further doubts and his surrender. After that, each of his doubters being refuted by Krishna one by one. So 11 to 30 was the details of jnana on the soul, its properties. So because soul cannot be destroyed, so soul cannot be cut, soul cannot be burned, soul cannot be quenched, soul cannot be withered. So your kith and kin you are not going to die. So fight. Then 2.31 to 38 is on karma kanda. Even if you are not believing on this, then also you have to do, because there will be no gain without pain. So dutifully you have to fight, so that, you know, on the normal platform also you have to fight. Then in the third level, he takes him to the buddhi yoga or niskama karma, a stage where he's saying that, okay, fight for the sake of fighting, not for winning or losing. What is that? Jayayu labha labhav. Not because of that. So that is the Buddhi Yoga. So Buddhi Yoga is nothing but, it's the same as, uh, devotional service. Buddhi Yoga is nothing else. Then the Sthita Prajna stage where, again, to become fixed in Krishna consciousness, and thereby also you have to fight. But there is a question. In fact, when Krishna talked about Sthita Prajna, then Arjuna actually had a doubt, which comes in chapter 3, saying that which is better, and all the chapter 4, it comes in chapter 4, saying that you are on one side, you are saying to, make me Sthita Pragya, but at the same time, you are also telling me to fight. So what should I do? So all those things will come in chapter 4. Before that, let's look at 1 to 10, what is happening before surrender and after surrender. So Arjuna's further doubts and his surrender. So after Arjuna continues to express his doubts about fighting, he surrenders to Krishna for instruction. Now the whole Bhagavad Gita is an instruction, a song, instruction through the song of Lord Krishna, and it's for us, because we know Arjuna. Who is Arjuna? Arjuna is the most exalted devotee of Lord Krishna, and he knows everything. So he doesn't actually require the knowledge of soul and knowledge of Kshetragya, and gunas, Vibhagatraya, so many things. He doesn't need to know. But this is all because Arjuna had, when this is the master plan, what Krishna has made, so that Arjuna becomes the instrument, so that we all fallen souls, it is for us, so that Gita is spoken and so that we know Gita. So that is the basic premise on which the Gita was spoken. Similarly, on the similar premise, Bhagavatam was also spoken when Parikshit Maharaj was, given a curse, and the snake comes and bites, and within 7 days, and within 7 days, he had the Brahma Jigyasa, and the entire beautiful, the nectar of the nectar Bhagavatam was spoken. Okay, so now this is the one. Sanjay Uvacha. Tam tatha kripayavistam ashrupurna kulekshanam Visidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha. This is the first verse. So Tang tatha kripya. Sanjay describes that Krishna sees Arjuna lamenting like an ignorant man and responds. So what it is saying? Tam tatha kripaya wisdom. So there was two words. I think in the 18 days we discussed. One is daya and one is kripa. So daya is for all. However, kripa is only for specific people. So here, his kripa is towards his kith and kin. So his teachers, his grandsire, his so many relatives. For all the relatives, the kripa is there. So tang tatha kripaya vistam ashru purnam. His eyes are, full with tears. Arjuna, Parantapa, the Dhanurdhara, the best of the archer, is having this kind of, state, and therefore Visidantam. So English, I mean, the Sanskrit is so beautiful language. Visidantam, matlab Vishada, who is in Vishada, who is in lamenting position. Tam, Visidantam, idam vakyam ubacha Madhusudana. So Madhusudana, the killer of Madhu, Krishna, told this statement or this sentence to the lamenting Arjuna. Which is that sentence? That will come in 2.2. However, this is the chapter 2 is the essence of Gita, or uh, Gita's essence summarized. It is also called Sam Yoga. What is that? Hare Krishna. Like, you know, It is part of Karma Yoga, no doubt, overall 1 to 6, but particularly chapter 2 is also called Sam Yoga. What is it? Hare Krishna. It's called Sankhya Yoga also.
Sankhya Yoga.
And why it is called Sankhya? Hare Krishna. What is Sankhya?
Is it
Yes,
like
please.
is it like counting the? Is it like Sainya Darshan? Is it like looking at the armies, counting or assessing?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But then, Sankhya doesn't, has any direct relationship with the observing of the armies.
Mm.
Sankhya is coming from the word Sankhya. Sankhya is counting,
Sankhya,
right?
counting. Yeah, yeah.
Counting. Now, counting of what? So, counting of primarily in Sankhya because it's an analytical study. So, so what is being counted? First, your, the gross elements, earth, water, fire, or ether, counted 5. Then mind, ego, 8. So similarly, so many counts are there, but ultimately the count stops after the ego, because after that Krishna's, you know, internal energy starts, which, so where in fact the Sankhya stops, then the spiritual knowledge will come. So analytical study goes to a point, but after that, what it ultimately culminates into is the Bhakti Yoga. So it is called, therefore, it is called Sankhya. So from that perspective, let us look at and analyze this particular verse 2.1. So analysis is always cause and effect, etc. In fact, I was also thinking that this cause and effect is, so much popularized, in modern world, but it all is there already in, Gita before. What Arjuna was doing actually in the five, reasons, he was only analyzing, right? This will lead to this. Family tradition, he started with what? Like, if war happens, then people will die. If they die, there will be widows. If there will be widows, then there will be mixing up. Then there will be Varna Shankara. Then there, so all this cause and effect was already there. I don't know why some countries like Japan is taking that advantage. Anyway, so now let us come to this point. So, uh, Arjuna is having these symptoms. He is bound by the material compassion. He doesn't want to kill. Then he's lamenting. His eyes are full of tears. And then what is happening is that these signs are supposed to be of ignorance. So if these signs are of ignorance, what are the signs which are not of ignorance or rather of knowledge? Because the opposite of ignorance is knowledge. So the knowledge is about the real self, and real self is about the eternal soul and about self-realization. So the main essence of chapter 2 is for everyone is about the knowledge of the soul and the body. That we are not the body, we are the spirit soul, and that is the main knowledge or main understanding of chapter 2. So here comes another question in an example of analogy, that if there is a drowning man, then what is that you are going to save, the dress or the person? Naturally, the person, not the dress. That you have answered in level 1, so I'm not asking again. So therefore, now the body is nothing but the dress, and the compassion is not supposed to be on the dress. The compassion is supposed to be on the body, or in this case, compassion is supposed to be for the soul.
Okay,
And
that's
thereby, Arjuna is making the mistake. At least apparently, he's making the mistake because that is the grand plan of Krishna. So what is happening is the self-realization, which is part of the analytical study, is talking about soul, spirit soul, and the body, material body. Arjuna is looking at all his relatives at the bodies. He's not looking at them as souls. And he is afraid, not for killing his own body. He's not afraid at all. He's not fearful about his body. He's fearful, or rather, he's in a way concerned about the material bodies of his kith and kin. And that is what Krishna, now will explain. But then looking at his lamenting eyes and lamenting tears, now Krishna will chastise. What he will say, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Kutastva Kashmalamidam Visame Samupasitam Anarya Yustam Aswergam Akirti Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all defeating a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. So Kotastva Kasmalam Idam. Kasmalam is this kind of impurities which doesn't fit you. You are a great Kshatriya, and now you are and you belong to this Aryan family. I mean, so therefore he's saying that you are behaving like an Anarya, and this is all Aswargya. I mean, this is all it is not going to your actions will not lead you to the heavens, and also it will not bring any fame. So all the three will occur at the same time. So you are doing number one a non-Aryan kind of a behavior. Number two, it will not go to any good heavens or anywhere. It will bring you infamy. All this will happen, and you are a Kshatriya. So it is said that Kshatriya once has come to a fight, and once he has taken up his bow and arrow, then he is not supposed to bring it down till the battle or war is complete. Either he dies or wins or whatever, but he is not supposed to drop it, or he's not supposed to even keep it down. So what has happened to you? It is similarly in our situations where we look at an military person who is supposed to be guarding our nation, and he's supposed to fight against a terrorist, etc. And if he doesn't do, then he's not doing his duties. This in the similar way, that's the Swadharma of the military person, and that's the Swadharma of Arjuna. And why you are not doing? Because this is all kashmala. These are all something impurities which has come upon you. I mean, as a friend now, he's saying all this. That what is happening, Arjuna? What is that happening to you, my dear? And also then he's saying, Klaibang masmagama partha, naitattvai upapadyate, kshuddram hridaya darbullam, tyaktva uttishtata parintapa. O son of Partha, do not yield to this degrading importance. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of enemy. So he's addressing. Now you can look at Arjuna, how he's totally looking like, maybe he will, if he left alone, then he will leave everything and go to the forest. I mean, we can see, the kind of condition that he is in. And now Krishna is saying, till now he's saying as a friend that what is this kind of klebya, or what kind of this importance is coming upon you. This doesn't fit you at all. And this Shudra Hridaya Durvalyam, this is the petty weakness of the heart, doesn't suit you at all. And just get up. Oh, chastiser of enemy. In fact, he's using this word, particularly parantapa, to rather encourage him and remind him of his power, that you are a parantapa. You are the best. You best of the archer. You have killed so many enemies, and even after that, you are behaving this way, Arjuna. Then Arjuna says, when these two statements or other verses said by Krishna, Arjuna now his doubts, which he has already talked about in five doubts, then further he is trying to justify. It is something like in a arguments after arguments. So he is giving certain arguments. Then all these arguments, in any case, will be dealt very, very, very elaborately, refuting each and every doubt, like what happens in a courtroom, right? One by one advocate, certain argument by other person, other argument. So now it is happening between two friends, giving their own argument, that why he should not fight, and then Krishna why he should fight. So let's look at what Arjuna is saying. Arjuna is saying, Katham Bhisma Aham Sankhe Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyutsami Pujarha Arisudana. Arjuna said, "O killer of enemies, that is, killer of enemy is Arisudana. O killer of Madhu means Madhusudana. How can I counterattack with arrows in a battle, men like Bhisma and Drona, Pujarha, who are worthy of my worship? So they are pujarha. They are worthy of my worship, both Bhishma and Drona. Just imagine Arjuna. Imagine yourself in the position of Arjuna. From the childhood, in fact, he has, learned uh, how to even, rage above, how to hold it. From that point, he understood, and then from there onwards, he became the best archer. So all these days, only love and his grandsire's love, his guru's love, everything is there with him. And now he's thinking, how it is possible for me? How can I raise arrow? I just can't do it, Krishna. That is the situation of Arjuna, which he's saying now. Then then he's saying, Gurun hatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhaktum bhaksham apiha loke hatvartu kamastu gurun nihaiva bhunjiya bhogan ruditira pradiktan. It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls. Great souls like Drona, like Bhishma, like Krupacharya, so many who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. So this is again he's giving his supportive argument that the enjoyment he will not be do with his tainted weapon. This is 2.5. So now we're going towards the surrender. Nachaitat vidmaha न चैतात् विद्मः कतरान्नो गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा न जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामः तेव स्थिता प्रमुखे धर्तराष्ट्राः. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. This is where the indecision is coming. Yad va jayema, yad va na jayeyuhu. So this is also beautiful Sanskrit. I would urge everyone to at least learn Sanskrit. It's not a difficult language. You can, in fact, write every day at least one verse and just repeat it 3 times. And also you can go to sites of ISKCON where, and also, connect to certain WhatsApp group and enroll where they're teaching beautiful, how to uh, recite the verses. In fact, so because there are meters, there are various meters in Gita. Sanskrit, there are many meters. Gita, primarily Bhagavad Gita has Anushtup Chanda is 1 meter. Trishtup is also there. So one is with 12, one is with 11. So all that is there. So sometimes the meter change, so the way of singing also change. So now coming back, he's saying that what is better, Krishna? I don't understand. I'm completely absolutely indecisive. What should I do? And with this indecision, now he surrenders. Now he surrenders. Now look at the way he's surrendering. That vidhi pranipatana. He's absolutely with folded hands. He's surrendering. Now he's not surrendering to his friend. He's surrendering to his guru now. So what he's saying? Karpanya dosha pahata swabhava पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. कार्पण्यदोषपहत स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः. Dharma is I'm dharma samudha cheta. I'm in confused about what is my duty and what is my dharma and what is not my dharma. So what is my duty and what is not my duty? I'm confused about that. And so yat sreyaha, whatever is the best, syat nishchitam bruhitanme. So definitely please tell me what is best for me, Krishna. Please tell me because I am confused altogether. And now I am sishyasteham. Am te sisya. I am your disciple and sadhimam. Instruct me, sadhimam, tvam prapanna. So Arjuna said, now I am confused about my duty. I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So as long as he was asking as a friend, Krishna was just, casually giving certain thing that, okay, doesn't suit you, you are a Kshatriya, etc., etc. But his problems are not getting resolved. Now he has completely surrendered, and now immediately from the position of friend, now Krishna will take the position of Guru, and then he will instruct and solve all the problems. So there is also, you will see that Krishna will also smile, and Prahasan Iba is also will be coming somewhere. So Arjuna said that now, so uh, this is also happens to all of us in the sense that we have many, many problems in our life. So what is important is that at that time, whether we want to mentally speculate ourselves and try to solve the problem, or we approach someone who knows about it, who has a real knowledge, at least material. If there is a material problem, then we have to approach someone who knows at least materially better than us, who is a guru. And Arjuna is approaching the supreme person, Purushottama, in fact. So, so definitely he has done the best because he's approaching Krishna for solving his problems, and Krishna is going to solve his problem. And the solution of problem comes only when one surrenders. And surrenders to whom? Surrenders to a guru, because guru is the representative of Krishna. This is what the parampara is all about. So guru is the representative of Krishna. So we have to also surrender to a guru, and how a disciple should be and how a guru should be. That's another subject we can discuss, later on. So this is the analogy. So what happens? So there are two words used here, right? Karpanya dosha means the karpanya is coming from the word krupana, and krupana is miser. So who is a miser? Miser is a person who hoards and who doesn't give. He accumulates wealth or whatever, and then but doesn't he doesn't want to give anything. So you know what is the opposite word of kripana? Anyone? Hare Krishna, quickly. Which is the antonym of kripana? Anyone? Hare Krishna.
Dani, somebody who gives dan.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you are absolutely on track. Uh, Absolutely. But in fact, the word kripana, interestingly, the antonym of kripana is brahmana.
Oh,
See how the analogy is. Let us look at. So kripana is somebody who is perplexed because of his attachment to the material activities, and therefore all these perplexities comes because of the attachment. And then finally, because of perplexity, maybe at some point of time in some janma, maybe if he's a jnani, then bahunam janmanam ante. Gya- if he's jnani, if he's not, then of course he may not also. So however, what does a brahmana do, or a self-realization person do? That he is interested in self-realization. He reads, he does patana, yajana, ajana, all these six activities he does, and he is interested in Krishna. He is the Brahmana, and he surrenders from the beginning itself. Brahmana is somebody who continuously gives the knowledge to everyone, whatever he has. So therefore, the famous dialogue is always there, Daridra Brahmana and all that. Daridra is what? Like it's not actual Daridra. He may not be, have some money, etc. But because he's continuously giving. So somebody who is continuously giving and he's interested in the knowledge of the Brahma, or rather, Athoto Brahma Jigyasa, if he has, then the first quality is that he surrenders. So he surrenders to bona fide spiritual master, and who is the original spiritual master? Krishna is the original spiritual master. He gives the knowledge. We have understood in the 18 days class that he gives it to Sun God, right? Then Sun God gives to whom? Hare Krishna. Gives to Manu, and Manu gives to Ikshaku. That way, and after that it got lost. So it was how many million years ago the Gita was spoken to Sun God? How many millions years ago? Hare Krishna. Anyone remembers? Jai Shri Mataji, do you remember? 120 million years ago.
Wow,
Okay.
yes, 120 million. Yeah.
Yes. So 120 million years ago, he has given this jnana. So this is a difference between a Kripana and a Brahmana. So the qualities of Kripana has crept on into Arjuna. So therefore he's saying, I'm afflicted with the Karpanya dosha. Because because what is his how he'll become Brahmana? By executing his duty. Then because he has accumulated his knowledge, his everything, then now he has to demonstrate, he has to give it away. So that's how he will. So that's the reason why he's saying that Karpanya dosha has been afflicted. Now Sri Bhagavan Vacho, very, very important verse, one of the beautiful verse. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, asocyan, asocyan anna sochastvam pragyabadanscha bhashase, gatasun agatasuncha nanu sochanti panditaha. असोच्वान अन्नो सचोस्त्वम प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासुन अगतासुंश्च नानु सोचन्ति पंडिताः. So what he's saying is that Arjuna, o sochwan means something which is not to be lamented. Asochan, then annu sochastvam. But you are lamenting on that. Something which is not to be lamented, you are lamenting. And then you are talking pragyavada. Then you are, giving talking like a wise, giving so many wise words, etc. Pragyavadang savasase. Because the wise does not do two things. Which are those? He doesn't lament for two people. One is Gatasun and another is Agatasun. Who is a Gatasun? Who has already gone. And who is Agatasun? Who has not gone, means who is living. Right. So a Pandita or a wise person doesn't lament neither on the living nor on the dead. Now, one thing is understood because we have already done the 18 days, you know, uh, Gita class. So we understand that, okay, we should not lament on dead because soul is there, soul cannot be destroyed. But why you should not, lament on living? Anyone? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We are at 11. We have to go fast. Hare Krishna. Any thoughts coming?
Maybe
Why?
soul is already there in that body. We should not lament. I don't know, Prabhuji.
No. That the thought is good. Thought is good. Yeah, soul is there. Yes. Living entity means soul is there in that body. But now we are basically talking about two bodies: a body which is dead and a body which is living. So dead, okay, we don't lament because the concept of soul will come. But living, we don't lament because why we lament for a living? Because living will have all this problem. Like you will have some vyadhi, some old age, something will happen. So therefore, there's a question of lamenting happens. But we also know that where from the vyadhi comes, the disease comes from. So there is a verse which says that purva janmam krutam papam vyadhi rupena jayate. So whatever sins were done in the previous verses, that comes as a disease. So nothing to lament even for the living. That's also is there because it is because of the previous birth, and all those things will come now. So 2.12. So this is what it is. So asocyan anna sochastam pragyavadascha vasase gatasun agatasuncha nanu sochanti panditaha. So Krishna chastises Arjuna saying that you are talking like a learned man, but actually what a learned man should have spoken ideally, he should have spoken about these three things. What are they? First, he knows the difference between the body and the soul. Second, he do not lament on the body whether it is dead or alive. And third, he knows that body is born and destined to vanquish. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityuhu. That also will come, right? That he knows. All these three he knows. But You are talking like a learned man, giving all the arguments so far. But why? It is not the part of a wise man you are talking like, because you are not distinguishing between the matter and the spirit. So we should know that body is temporary and soul is eternal. If it is known to you, then you should not have said like this. That's what Krishna is saying. Now, next. न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. That's so interesting. He's saying there was not even a time. So he's saying that, first of all, time is infinite. So time is eternal. Because first sentence we can understand what he's saying, the time is eternal, because there was no such time when. And second is that everybody is all the living. So Krishna is saying he is also eternal, and Arjuna and all the kings, everybody is eternal, because there was no time when neither of them were not there. So here he is actually you know refuted two important concepts which is there. What are those two important concepts which he has fully refuted in this particular verse 2.12? Anyone quickly? Priya Mataji? We are going a little slow, so let's be a little fast. Hare
One
Krishna.
is time. One is definitely time.
Yes, 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 Mataji. Yes. Hare
And
Krishna.
is it
Perfect.
and is it
So
the
there are
other about yeah.
so there are two, no, not here I'm saying. I mean, there are two other concepts which are already there. So there is an atheistic concept, right? Hare Krishna. So there is an atheist concept which says that there is no God. Now Krishna is saying, I am there, I was always there. So first of all, he is destroying the atheist concept. That is first concept. Second is about the Mayavada concept. Mayavada says what? That you can be God, I can be God, everyone can be God, you can merge with God, all this concept. He's saying, no, I'll remain as I. So Krishna says, Krishna, I'll also exist as individual Krishna. You will also exist permanently, eternally. So the individuality of Krishna and the individuality of Arjuna and the kings will remain eternally as it is, which is called a Dvaita philosophy. So Atma and Paramatma. So Paramatma and Atma are same in quality, not in quantity. So then Chaitanya Deva comes with the beautiful philosophy of, what is that called? Achinta Veda Bheda. Have you heard of this? Hare Krishna. Priya Mataji.
No,
No,
Prabhuji.
no, Prabhuji.
Achinta Veda Bheda. That means Chaitanya, you know, Mahaprabhu is giving a beautiful thing. He's saying that we believe in both. We believe in Dvaita as well as Advaita. How we are simultaneously believing that soul and super soul are same as well as they're different, in the sense that they are different in terms of the quantity. However, in terms of quality, like achedyam, akledyam, adayham, all those properties, we are same as the super soul. So this is called achinta bheda bheda concept. Okay, so let's proceed. देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तर प्राप्तिर धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति. Beautiful, beautiful. So now the jnana comes here. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Very simple. Dehinaha, the what is Dehinaha? Who is the Dehi? Dehi is the living entity which is possessing the Deha or the body. So, in a sense, we are all possessed by our own soul, right? So, this is a Dehi. So, Dehi nosmin jatha dehe, komaram yovanam jara. Tatha dehantara prapti dhira tatra na muyati. So like the embodied soul continuously passes. So we all of us have gone through this stage that there was a time when we were a child, then we came to a young age, we played, we went to school, we graduated, we went to the job, then there is grihastha life, and then at some point of time we'll die also, and we've seen our grandfathers, great grandfathers dying. So all this we've seen control. This is a truth. But most important is that when the Yaksha asked Yudhishthira that time that what is the most astonishing thing in the world, then he said that everybody knows that every day so many people are dying, but everybody thinks that he is immortal. And this is very important. It is something like to understand this. You can see the spark which is not changing, like the body changing, but spark is not changing. It's just changing its state from one body to other body. In fact, it is said that before leaving the body, in fact, my other body is already ready. It is something like, if we're in a rented house, our body is a rented house. So then, unless another rented house is ready, we actually do not move. And our rented house, the other rented house is ready based on our karma. So it is again like, I can give an example of car or a bicycle or tricycle, in like we are the same. When I was a child or we are a child, that time we are riding a tricycle. After that, maybe a bicycle. After that, maybe a bike, a motorcycle. After that, a car. But the driver is same. Maybe after the car is too old, then we change to a new car. But the driver remains same. So the soul remains same. That's the concept of dehi nasmin jatha dehe komaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namuyati. So why it is to lament them? This is so beautiful. Matra sparshaastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama payino anityastan titikshasva bharata. Matra sparshaastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama payina agama payinaha. Something comes and goes. Agama payina, something which comes and goes, and anitya, which is not permanent. Something comes and goes and which is not permanent. Titiksha, so tolerate that. What is that? That comes from matra sparsha. So matra has two meaning. One is, of course, the meaning where it is given that son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception. So here the matra is primarily the sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. But here, see, this is very, very interesting. Uh, Once we have covered all the 18 chapters, then we can very well relate. This matra is no doubt is a sense perception. The moment a sense perception happens, means the attachment happens. The moment the attachment happens, then rest of the things has to happen. So dukkha alam ashashvatam by default will come. The moment there is a matra sparsha, means there is a sense perception. So what is the solution? In fact, he has given the solution later on, like Padma Patra Vibham Basa, all that is coming like a lotus flower we have to be. However, the other meaning of matra is also measurement, the balance. That is also called matra. So here, anybody from science background here, I mean, at least physics, Hare Krishna, you can very well relate to the glimpse of, the Young's double slit experiment where, if you try to observe, then the light behaves like a particle. But if you don't want to, if you, take out the observation, the measurement, then it remains as a wave. It's just an example. I'm saying that if you try to measure, if you want to be attached, then all the problems comes up. If you're not attached, you don't want to measure anything. Measure means what? Always the opposites. You cannot measure, the measurement is always with respect to, large, small, bad, good, and things like that, right? So if the measurement is taken away, if the sense perception is taken away by Padmapatra Vibhamasa, then there will not be distant happiness and distress because he will perceive same. However, this is something which will bound to happen because this is Dukhala Asasatam. So therefore, this is the only way. Please tolerate this. Yang hina व्यथयन्ते ते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःख सुपम धीरम so amrutattvaya kalpate. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. So there is a liberation formula which is given. There was also peace formula. Oktaram, Yagatapasam, Sarvaloko Maheswaram. And after that, Oktaram, Yagatapasam, Sarvaloko Maheswaram, Surudam cha, Surudam cha, Sarvabhutana, Gyatva Mam Sante Murchati. Okay. So this is the what is it called in today's young language, the epic verse, so to say. Nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate satah ubhayorapi drishtantas to anyostatto darshibhihi. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, that is soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. So there are two words here, right? One is asat and one is sat, and there is bhava. This is what it is talking about. So what is saying that in the asat, in the asat, na vidyate bhava, na asato vidyate bhava. So bhava is not there in asat, and na bhava vidyate sata. And in sat, the bhava, abhava is not there. So what does mean is that the material world is primarily asat, because we have also understood about the material world, which is the perverted, inverted tree, which is the reflection, which is not the real. So naturally, it is not, it has to be asat. So it will not endure. So there is no endurance and it's not real. And 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 what is eternal? The soul is eternal. So here we can see that material world, the rishi is trying to read and understand, have the knowledge, then trying to serve Krishna, and then in the devotional service, ultimately he will try, he's at least trying to go to the Loka or the planet Golaka Vrindavan, where there is no return. Yat gatva na nivartante tadhamam paramam mama. अविनाशी तु तत् अविनाशी तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वम इदं ततं विनाशम अव्ययस्य न कश्चित् कर्तुम अर्हति. That which pervades the entire body you should know to be the indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. That which pervades the entire body. So it is like the consciousness which pervades the entire body. But we can't say that consciousness is here, in the fingers, everywhere the consciousness is there. So that is the property of the soul, and the consciousness is coming because of the presence of the soul. Any living entity is having a consciousness in a body just because of the soul. So antavanta ime deha nityasuktaha saririnaha anasino aprameyasya tasmat yuddhasva bharata. Antavanta ime deha. Antavanta. What is a antavanta? You know what is a yashavanta? What is a yashavanta? Hare Krishna. Anyone know what is a Yashavanta? Yeah, Shri Mataji. What is a Yashavanta?
Yes, who has fame?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, is fame, right? So Yashavanta is
Yes.
somebody who is famous.
Yes.
Yashavanta. So
Mm.
having a fame is Yashavanta. Having a anta means end is Antavanta. So the word is Antavanta. Antavanta imedeha. So all these bodies are having an end. But what is Nitya? Nitya and Aprameya. So the material body is sure to come to an end. However, the soul is indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal. So therefore fight. Because in any case, all these people, all these kings, everyone that you are looking at are not, the soul is not going to die. They will be there. They were there before. They are here today. Then they will be there in the future. So just nothing to lament on that. And as far as soul is concerned, there are thousands of scientific evidences where we know the presence of the soul. I urge everyone, in the 18 days class, we talked about, near death experience. We talked about out of body experience. All those are real, documented, and not one or two documents. There are thousands of documents, which are scientific documents, which are there, which fully proves that there is a presence of soul. And okay, so ये एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain, is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. Okay, okay. Let us explain it in a simple way. That if anyone is thinking that the soul can slay someone or can be slain by someone, then his knowledge is not the right knowledge, because the soul cannot be slain. Najayate mriyate va kadachit, most powerful verse. Let us just give our attention to this. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् न्यायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतो अयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे, न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् is that the soul, there is neither birth nor death. Nayang bhutta bhavitana bhuyaha. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. Na na ayang bhutva bhavitavana bhuyaha. Then there are four things: ajo, then nityaha, then shashwataha, then puranaha. Ajo is that it is unborn. Shashwata, it is eternal. Then it is ever existing. Then it is purano. It's a primeval. And then no hannati hannamane sharire. So for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval, and he is not slain when the body is slain. So fight. Arjuna, so you cannot slain. Even you have sword, other things, all these brahmastras, whatever you have, nothing is going to do anything to the soul. So fight. So these are the properties of the soul, whereas what are the properties of the body? So there are six properties, which are called asti, jayate, vardhate, viparinamate, apekshyate, and nasyati. Means asti means, okay, it comes to a being. Like it doesn't come into being, it comes to a being. So conception. Then jayate, it is ajanma, it is ajo, that is basically jayate, that means it takes birth. Then vardhate, it increases. And here what happens? It's unchangeable. It doesn't change, but here it changes. Then it matures. Then apekshyate, it declines, because we can see that even the size declines when someone goes to the bone density comes down, the even the height comes down, everything comes down, in all declination of the tissues, and everything happens, and then ultimately it is destroyed. This is the difference between the soul and the body. Okay, so veda vinashinang nityang ya enam ajam abhyayam katham sa purushah partha kam ghatayati hantikam. How can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Krishna is continuously saying about the soul, which is unborn, which is eternal, which cannot be cut. So, Arjuna, please try to understand that you cannot destroy them. So, please fight. This is my favorite one. वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि यथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. So as a person puts on a new garment, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. So we can see here, we can see that the soul is same. We can see the spark is same. So primarily in the first example, we talked about the body as a dress. So this Vasangsi is coming here. Vasangsi is in plural. So Vasa is dress. See, interesting is that Krishna is using a plural here. Vasangsi Dirnani. So Sarirani. So he knows that there will be many bodies. So there is perhaps no one who has just come with one body and straight away went for liberation, except, uh, Mahajanas. But so there are 84 lakhs of species, and all these species we, take birth. So therefore, the Sarirani, Vasangsi Jirnani. So all that is happening. So, so it's a beautiful expression of the property of the soul, that how it changes the body like dress, that we change our dress. When the dress becomes old, we simply, you know put it in the garbage bin, and then, or whatever, and then we take up a new dress. Similarly, the soul takes a new dress, as simple as that. So where is then what to lament, so to fight? नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यपो न शोषयति मारुतः. So all these four elements here talking about now. So shastra is earth element. So nainang chindanti sastrani. So the weapons cannot cut it. Nainang dahati pavaka. Pavaka is fire. So fire element that cannot burn. Nachainang kledonte apo. Apo is water. So water cannot wet. And no sushoite maruta is the air element. So air also cannot wither. So this is the property of the soul. So this is again, once again, it is the property of the soul is, you know, repeated with another adjective saying that it is acheddam, it is adhyam, it is akledyam, it is ashosham, it is natyah, it is sarvagata, it is thanu. So acheddam, acheddam, achedya, achedyo ayam, adhyaya ayam, अक्लेद अशोषम एवच नित्यः सर्वगतः स्थाणुर अचोल अयम सनातनः. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither born nor tried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. So we can see on the picture. So many things about the soul, that what the soul is about. We can see that it is unbreakable, insoluble, neither born nor tried, everlasting, present everywhere. All that is there. Then अव्यक्तयम् अचिन्त अभ्योक्तो अयम् अचिन्तयम् अविकार्यम् उच्यते तस्मात् एवं विदित्वैनं नानुसूचितुम् अर्हसि. So invisible, immutable, inconceivable, all these are again property of the soul. So it is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. So many arguments. I think Arjuna had given 5 reasons and another 3 verses, maybe 8. Krishna is speaking from 2.11 onwards, 30, more than 30 verses, saying this is the reason why you must fight. So this is 24 and 25 about all the properties we just eternal soul. It is unbreakable, insoluble, neither born, everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, eternally the same, invisible, inconceivable, immutable, all these things. अथ चैन नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाभागो नैनं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. If however you think that the soul, now Krishna is taking to the material platform. That he's saying, if however you think that the soul will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, oh mighty arm. This is very interesting that if you, till now I'm talking about the soul, the property of the soul, which cannot be destroyed, which cannot be destructed, etc., etc. So therefore, there is no point of lamenting. But even if you think in the material plane, that it will take birth, it will die in a normal course, then in any case in the normal course everybody is going to die. If everybody is going to die, whether you kill, you do not kill, everybody is going to die. So you do your duty, kill them. जातस्य हि ध्रुव मृत्यु ध्रुवम जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मात् अपरिहार्यर्थे नत्वं सोचितुम अर्हसि. One who has taken his birth is sure to die in the material platform. One who is taken in the normal course of thing, we've seen in the normal life, we see people die, the animals die, all the species die, and whoever is born is die, and whoever is dying is also taking birth. So one who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the discharge of a duty, you should not lament. Another argument: अवक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तम मध्यानि भारत अव्यक्त अव्यक्त निधनानि एव तत्र का परिदेवना तत्र का परिदेवना. So what need is there for lamentation? For what? If all created beings are unmanifested in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated, we have read it during the 18 days. What happens within Karana Dakshai Vishnu? When he inhales, everything, all the universes, multi-billion universes goes through his nostril to the womb, and it stays there as an unmanifest thing. Then again, when he exhales, the universe has created. If that is what happens and what is going to happen, then again, why should you lament? Because in any case, this is going to happen. So birth and death by cycle continues. So there are two type of philosophy. If you are on both the sides, so let's say you are on the atheist side, or you are on the side of the theist side. You believe in soul and God and everything, Krishna. Even if you are in any side, still there is no reason that you should not fight. Let us look at, because it is Sankhya, so we can look at the reason. So here is the reason. If you do not believe, okay, let me take a. Can I take pointer? Yeah. Yeah. So if you do not believe, then you believe in a normal material existence. So material existence in any case will have or that air, fire, air, fire, water, and all this. Something will be created, that will be destroyed. So all this cycle will be happening, and this is what you believe will be happening. You may not be believing in soul. You may not be believing in Krishna, but still, this is what you are believing. So if this happens, then also what is the point of lamentation? However, if you believe in existence of soul, then also what is the point of lamentation? So how beautiful, how a beautiful teacher uh, Krishna is. Now soul is amazing. Krishna is describing that soul is amazing to see, to describe, to hear. So he's talking about some people. Some people see, some people hear. So some look on the soul as amazing. Looking is amazing. Then some people who are amazing look on the soul. People are amazing. Then some look on the soul, which is amazing. Soul is amazing. So some describe the soul as amazing. Some people who are amazing describe on the soul that people are amazing. Then some people describe the soul which is amazing. Now soul is amazing. All this what is about the soul, people see, describe, and hear. And all of them say that everything is, very, very amazing. We can see why it is amazing, because we can see that the soul same, but size is so amazing. From the amoeba to an elephant to let's say some great whale or a tree or whatever. So I think we've crossed little time. Let's see if we can go a little bit. देहि नित्यम अवधूयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. Bharata, who is Bharata here? Hare Krishna. Who is Bharata? Priya Mataji.
Arjuna,
And why is Bharata?
because he's descendant of Bharata.
Yes, he is descendant of the dynasty, Bharata dynasty. So he is called therefore Bharata. So, O descendant of Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you do not grieve for any living being. We can see here. So we can see an analogy here. Surgeon performing operation, judge avoiding capital punishment. Analogy for unnecessary violence is not justified. So basically, why this is given is that some people, like we talk about mental speculation, who do not go by what the purports of Acharya is, that what Prabhupada is written. It doesn't mean that all this verses are actually saying that one can kill. It is not giving that permission that you can kill, because in any case soul is eternal. So in fact, in some of the movies it is shown also. It went to so much of extent saying that, okay, in any case soul is not going to die, so I'm not killing, so I can murder. So that permission is not there. So therefore this example is given. This example is that surgeon performing an operation, he is allowed to do this. Not everyone. So in the process somebody can die, that is a different issue. But they're experts, so they can do it. Similarly, a judge can give a capital punishment, but not that everyone and every citizen is able to do that. So this is so I think we have not reached 36, but this is what the summary is. So there are 15 characteristics, no, not 15, 30 characteristics of soul. We can read it. It is eternal, no change, indestructible, imperishable, immersible, neither slayer nor ever slain, no birth, no death. So Aja, Nityam, Saswatam, Purano, all this unbreakable, everything is there. So much, 30 characteristic
Like
of soul. So 2.31 onwards will take Karma Kanda onwards will take next week. Although we are supposed to take up to 36 today because it is 72 verses. We could have covered 36 ideally, but I think we have already crossed 10, 13 minutes. So I stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Ananta koti Vaishnav Bindu Jai. Jai Prabhupada ki Jai. So any question from anyone? This is the sole subject, so I expect questions. Hare Krishna. Any questions?